that was high in expectation.
Thank you. Frame 6.
It's living up to expectations in
Ronnie
terms
O'Sullivan's
of
break.
the tense nature of the exchanges. Trump's fired in a century, also made an 86 break. O'Sullivan yet to engage top gear. In fact, he hasn't made a 40 break yet. But you know, if he gets in a groove, the word unstoppable comes to mind. Jill made the point during the mid-session interval chat that the third frame, which lasted 20 minutes, was an eternity for these two, and that's right. Frame 5 lasted over 22 minutes. Lots of respect being shown, and quite rightly so. Hard to think about any negatives revolved around this match, apart from one. It's a pity they had to play so early, i.e. in the quarter-finals.
Oh, what a shot.
Well,
I guess Ronnie knew that he might leave something there. I mean, the containing shot was hitting two reds. Yes, because the last 4 times they've played each other were in finals. One of them here in Llandudno, but that was the World Grand Prix, which Trump came out as the winner.
Yes, 2 years ago. 7-4 down, 1-10-7.
Well, that's not particularly a good shot. He's certainly overscrewed. Didn't want to be there. He's got a shot to the red.
7.
He's recovered well. As you see, the black is tied up, as is the pink. It's hard to win the frame without something of those two being in play.
15.
I think both jaws there, left and right middle, somehow conspired to take the cue ball the opposite end of the table to what he played. Well, that red might sneak past, but it's difficult. He plays it, he's playing the cue ball back down the table anyway.
Judge Trump, 20.
That's another good shot. He's cut off one side of the table completely there, and the side that Judd can get to. Oh, playing an escape is not easy. Might end up going for another pot here. He's found a way. It's a good shot.
One.
Well, it was played as a shot to nothing, Neil, but I think he deserved a little more than he got.
Foul.
That, though, was decidedly
Ronnie
loose.
O'Sullivan 1. Judd Trump 4.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't fancy the roll up to the yellow. It's a horrible shot from the jaws of the pocket. Could have been avoided, I think. I agree with you. I think the overall standard of safety in the modern game is remarkably good. I mean, we know these two can play safe, but we don't think of them as safety players. We think of them as dynamic potters and scorers, which they are. But I mean, they're putting each other in all sorts of trouble here. I mean, look at this shot. Let's see. Inch perfect. There is a red on, but how do you fancy this? Keeble could finish anywhere. And the red's tough in the first place.
Yes, and all of this without excessive thought. Just instinctive, second nature. Knowing the table. Not one of those ponderous dogfights you get.
I've been involved in a few of those over the years, Phil. That's why I've retired. He didn't know so much about getting the cue ball back there this time as the previous shots he's played. He knew he knew that the cue ball's heading towards the reds. He'll be delighted with that. I think Judd's had a slight edge in run of the ball, I have to say that. But it goes with the territory of playing slightly more adventurous game of the two. I think that's also the case. Twice I think he's misjudged that containing safety shot. But he's just about got away with it. He was a bit nervous when you say that when Trump's at the table. Oh, what a shot. Whoa. What a shot. It's so difficult.
Best potter in the game. Indisputably.
No doubt as well that he has certainly shortened his backswing. And Stephen and Alan noticed that yesterday, and he's just bringing the cue back
5.
slightly shorter than what he would have been, but it allows him to really accelerate through the ball, which I think is in his interest. Used to be a bit long at the back, and the cue comes through a little bit slowly. Could have been better there. It's the kind of frame here, Phil, where he's got a lead of 28 points, but one chance could be worth about 80 to either player. It's anybody's frame, this.
One.
Playing the roll-up.
Just trump one.
And as we were saying earlier, no red near a cushion or in the bunch to just lie up against here. Might be playing the two-cushion glance. Difficult shot to play first time. Most players would almost be happy to miss it first time and learn from it. That was a misjudgment.
Yes, no trial run from O'Sullivan.
One.
Well, already 30 points ahead. This really should be 4-2.
Seven.
Again, playing an expansive positional
Trump
shot,
seven.
as he did at the end of the previous frame. Trump comes unstuck.
Well, he's looking for just a little bit of a kiss, a good kiss somewhere to get him started. Unfortunately, the shot he's faced with is a huge one. This has got to go in, or the frame is gone. Brilliant. Now they're the kind of shots when he, as a teenager, he was knocking in for fun, losing to bolt pockets.
Six.
I think end of frame had it stayed out.
Seven.
Yes, you're right to recall that, Neil. I think no one has ever been better at that recovery blue to the bulk. No one.
I know we expected fireworks, but it's actually quite engrossing the way this match is unfolding, even though not every frame has been one in one visit.
10. $14.
How did you get amongst the reds near the black is the problem. It's down there as well, causing
15.
issues. That is perfectly played, so it gives him a lot of options as to go about it. I mean, you can always play on the left-hand loose red, but this is a chance to create more, I think.
$20. $21.
It's more difficult now to get the reds open than it was on the previous blue. The right-hand red of the three is on. It's from a place on the left-hand side of the table. I wonder if he missed a trick not doing
23.
something more positive on a couple of shots ago. This next red, if it does go, it's a thin one. It's horrible. It's a brilliant shot. I think he had to use a little bit of side on that, you know.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
And this time
24.
it's Trump's turn to be tucked up.
Well, it is. I still feel it's, for someone like O'Sullivan, it very much second best, that, because he wanted to clear the table himself. He didn't really want Trump to have anything to come back to the table with. I know he's in a snooker. Well, I'm sure. Looks like he's playing 3 cushions here.
Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Well, he'll have a chance to play this a little better. Wants to make sure he doesn't over-adjust, though, and come the other side of the red. And leave it available to the right corner.
John. Ronnie.
For the second time playing the escape right-handed.
No, that is a...
Foul and a miss.
It's the worst
Ronnie
outcome.
O'Sullivan,
I mean, to
4.
hit the jaws of the middle bag. It's a pretty terrible shot, actually, especially after the first effort. He knew what he needed. Minor adjustment, not a major one.
1.
Took a peek at the scoreboard after potting that red. He will need the green and brown.
Yes, and of course they're so far apart, Phil, it becomes an issue. I think he'd love to have been able to play on the green, actually, and get it on its spot. That would be a very good shot to even think of. I don't know if it's on.
8.
Surely not from there. I think he played on the green.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 8.
Once again, he snookered Trump, but it's definitely not what he was looking for when he came to the table.
The balance of luck is definitely going Trump's way. Little kisses here, rubs there. But no loss of patience, no sign of frustration from O'Sullivan yet. And that's always a good sign.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
You do well to play this shot intentionally and going off in the middle. I don't know if you can hold here. It'll be a good shot if you can just hold for the green.
2.
He's done so well. He prodded the yellow thick, which helped. If he hadn't have done, I think the keeper would have drifted up the table a bit. But he's a bit straight on this, and again, green to brown, there's a long way to travel. I think the black might be in the way. He plays the screw shot, screwing onto the black, unless he's able to manipulate the angle. Not going for it. There must have been absolutely no way of getting up the table if he didn't go for that.
So Sullivan 10 ahead, but not a great advantage. He has to pot 3 balls from here. Trump 4.
Yes, I agree, Phil. To all intents and purposes, it's a green ball frame. Whoever pots it is a huge favourite to win the frame. The scores are completely irrelevant. Well, the putting angle's not on, it's too thin anyway, but he can get to part of it. Well, this is interesting, playing to drop up to it. He could be in trouble next shot. He's given away control to O'Sullivan by playing this.
Shades of the old master trying to tie up the young potting machine.
Foul. And a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan 6.
Didn't see what happened there. Must have hit something on the way through.
Yeah.
Oh,
12.
yes. Pink. Goodness me, that was thin. He's got to go back, hasn't it? Surely. Got to put it back. He is. Yeah. I don't think the pink has to be replaced. I think he just wavered. Nothing wrong with Rob Spencer's eyesight after that. The eyes of a hawk.
It was more or less full ball, wasn't it? Probably. Yeah. I'm not sure on the gap, Joe, if I put it back.
This is a difficult replacement for any referee.
This way. This way. Cue ball needs to move now, doesn't it?
He's getting some help from Colin Humphries, who is the marker on this game. This is a difficult one.
This way.
A bit left a bit, right a bit. The old golden shot, it reminds me of. Fire, they used to say. You've got to be old enough to remember that programme, though, that's the thing.
Again.
Well, of course, Chaz, who was one of the great snooker cameramen, he was also a cameraman on Golden Shot. There's the connection.
Yeah. Joe, do you want to have a look?
Ronnie is not getting involved in this. He's completely taking Judd's word for it, which of course is fair and square. He'll settle for that. is this? What's happened there? Priority was always getting the object ball safe rather than anything else, twice across. That's most unlike him.
Through.
Supreme cueing from Trump. And look where the remaining colours are.
Yes, he looked to see if the blue had popped to the left middle. But he's not prepared to take that chance. Interesting little shot here. Could play it to the bottom. Plays it to the middle. He's obviously going to be on the pink, but he's got to get onto it somehow where he can pop the black as well. Doesn't want to be
12.
straight on this. Intriguing little shot this he's left with. There is a shot here that you can play this with lots of topspin and left-hand side and bend the cue ball down. But he had
18.
managed to find an angle on that. It was dead straight, but he managed to put it into one side of the pocket. Done well.
O'Sullivan toiled and he worked so hard, but in the end, one misplayed safety cost him dear. Trump is back 2 in front at 4-2.